What's up, team? I hope you guys are having a absolutely amazingly ludicrously exceptional day today. My name is Just Look Up. Honestly, I've been thinking about it. I think the name Just Look Up might be a little cheesy. You might have to do some rebrand. I don't know. What do y'all think, bro? Because I don't know. Just Look Up just doesn't roll off the tongue. Maybe my actual name would just go hard, you know? But I don't know. Real quick before I get into the topic, I was trying to find a way to record Spore, but I was not able to. For some reason it doesn't let me, and I have to do a whole bunch of stupid shit. So I'm just gonna be playing some more Castles and Kingdoms because that game go pretty hard. Recently I've been playing this game called Spore. I wasn't able to record any gameplay footage of it, so y'all are just gonna have to deal with some more Kingdoms and Castles. But nonetheless, I've been playing this game called Spore, where you start off as like a single cell organism, and you basically evolve by, you know, eating other organisms and then growing, and then eventually you turn into like a multiple cell organism where you're able to like attack things and kind of develop more. And then after that point, you're a land organism. You're able to develop legs and things and kind of dominate on land. This whole game kind of had me thinking, and it's kind of like basic and fundamental how it simulates like a godless world, where all you have to do is just eat, survive, have sex, repeat. And that kind of reminds me of a lot of the ways that people live their lives today, right? Because they don't have anything to really fill the gaps of what life is to in their existentialism. They just eat, survive, sleep, repeat, have sex, repeat, you know, procreate, and then move on to the next, die, and then it's another generation. But I feel that as we're evolving in technology and corporatism and a lot of other human concepts, we're leaving behind the concept of spirituality and the importance of that, where a lot of us like to criticize it and hold it as something of the past, something of below our own comprehension, right? But when I throw it back to the game Spore, it gets boring, right? Because you're not really doing anything except surviving, just repeating the same cycle over and over and over again, and eventually you just get burnt out by the game and you don't even want to play it anymore. Like, I certainly don't. Like, I've played it for a good, 5-6 hours, great time, I'm done with it. Why? Because it's boring. Because I didn't really see a point to it after a little bit. There wasn't really any missions or anything. There wasn't any objectives. I'm just in this open world, and I just have to continuously eat, evolve, repeat. Whereas a lot of games, you have like a storyline or a focus or objectives to check off that make it like that give you a reason to play the game. But in this sense, you don't really have that, and you kind of have to either role play and replace the lore that isn't given to you, or you kind of just play this hollow shell of a storyline. It's like that in real life. You don't fill your life with any fulfilling meaning to fill the gaps of why are you even doing the things that you're doing, why are you surviving and repeating and then procreating. Like, what's the point of all that? Is it to expand like your material, like beyond the generations? Because that's not really reliable, as we know. Like, unless you're the top very few 1% of wealth, where your generational wealth will carry on to the next, like your material things and assets really don't have any meaning at the end of the day. You don't get any actual emotional fulfillment or satisfaction from achieving material gain. Like, maybe you do for the first bit, but these are things that our bodies, our brains grow accustomed to. So it doesn't matter the amount of wealth that you have, you could still be just as unfulfilled as a homeless person. So I think a lot of people are just helplessly striving to attain something that really is worthless at the end of the day. But if you have a reasoning behind why you're doing the things that you're doing, then it's not like this unfulfilling like spectrum that you're trying to like reach. Like, now you have multiple doors that you're trying to unlock. Why? To advance your spirituality, to advance what fundamentally makes you you. But nowadays, everything's sold to us. Healthcare is sold to us, housing is sold to us, like everything comes at a cost. Everything is like at a capitalist race. And in that comes advertisement, right? So now everything's being pushed in our faces. Now all these stores that are selling to us are pushing notifications on our phones. Now we're almost idealizing these corporations that are constantly in our lives more than our parents are. Why? Because our phones are in our face more than our parents are. And we probably watch more ads nowadays than we even talk to our parents. So yeah, it's going to be really easy to start idealizing material things and want them, because they're constantly being shoved in our faces and sold to us as if there's something that we really need or really want. A lot of the things that are necessary for survival, such as healthcare, housing, food, shelter, are becoming more and more and more unattainable, especially nowadays, as we can see in the housing market especially, which creates more of a divide and a segregation from spirituality and more of this kind of need to survive. But I don't necessarily think that those two things kind of cancel each other out either. I think the main thing that's really problematic here is the fact that we are corporatized and like idealizing material gain. And I think this country has really corrupted us. And I think that if we evolved in the sense of technology as we do today with spirituality, like, that would be utopia. That would be straight utopia, especially because I'm Muslim. I believe that if everybody in the world was Islam, which I know will probably never be a thing, it would be utopia. If we continue the technological advancements of today with religion, oh my gosh. But no, they want to kill God. They want to make God dead so that way they can hoard all the wealth to themselves, because the moment people realize that, oh wait, this world isn't about him or her, like, it's not about them, it's not about they, it's not about like a rock or a tree or this or that. Like, you're just a simple mechanism in a puzzle that is so much bigger than you. Like, you should have no reasoning to go and submit to another person, to say that this person is more valuable than that person, and that I'm less or more valuable than this person. Like, through a genuine like comparative lens in Islam especially, like, you don't compare yourselves to people, you only submit yourself to God. And in that sense, it creates value in the world, rather than where we think we're gods, and this is the world is our sandbox to mess with and then malform, which is what we're currently doing. None of this is really going to stop unless we actually have a major shift in directory. And I'm not just talking about politics, I'm talking about mindset. I'm talking about sociological like mindsets. Because we as a group move together, and like, yeah, we move at different paces and different speeds, but we all live together and feed each other's mentality. I think corporatism really has killed God. And especially nowadays, I'm hearing like a lot of people want to put themselves on the same level as God. They'll say, I believe that we are God. And I'm not going to yuck anybody else's yum. Like, y'all believe in what you want, I'll believe in what I want. But why would you want the responsibility of the entire universe, right? All the problems, all the good, the bad, the ugly, and the especially ugly. Why would you want that all right on your shoulders? Like, doesn't that seem like a little too much for one small human? Especially you, who constantly has to deal with your own problems, like, who constantly has to battle like their own like psychological issues, like in their own interior realm. How could you take on all these exterior factors? So I think in this ability to choose what we conceptualize as what life is, I think it would be a smarter decision to really choose something that would guide us towards something greater. How can we form our society in a way that we respect each other and our differences, and grow in a humanitarian aspect, technologically and spiritually. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. You know, stay hydrated, drink some water, get some caffeine, but don't drink too much, bro. That shit'll dehydrate you. All right, bro? All right, y'all have a good one.